One of the memories I have as a kid is so visceral to this day, I can still see it in my head, is that moment of watching a movie that I was way too young to be watching in the theater and my leg just shaking in abject terror as this T-Rex shows up in the rain and, if you don't move, they won't see you. And the point is, you're alive when they start to eat you. Yeah, but it just absolutely terrified me as a kid. It was horrifying, but ever since then, I've been fascinated with this concept, this notion of Jurassic Park. Can you really make dinosaurs and put them into the world? And can it make a good board game? Well, of course it can. Dinosaur Island, actually no, we're not talking about Dinosaur Island. We're talking about Jurassic Park Danger, adventure strategy game. It's a Ravensburger game. You can get it at Target. And is this game any good?
Clever girl.
Yes, but the point of this is one group of players takes on the roles of the adventurers from the game, from the movie. Ian Malcolm, the lawyer, John Hammond, Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler. But then the other side takes these vicious, wonderful, death-defying creatures and tries to kill and eat everyone else on the team. Yeah, exactly. So it's a one versus many sort of thing where obviously you will play the evil, vicious dinosaurs, although they are amoral because they're animals, and then the other players will try to escape with their lives. And that's the game. That's what it ends up being. So let's take a look now how to play and see if it's worth taking a swing at this game for $25 at Target. So here's the basic setup of the game right here. You build your board out. These tiles have the word center written on the back of these. This one says start on it. Obviously, these say perimeter around them, and these tiles go around the outside no matter what. Your basic setup is always the same here for the control center, the visitor center, and the maintenance shed. These tokens go on top of these tiles as these are determined randomly each time. So this Brachiosaurus paddock or enclosure may not always be the visitor center or the control center, but this time it just happens to be. Dinosaurs start on their space is listed for them, so the Dilophosaurus here, T-Rex here, and the Velociraptor here. Nice spread out this time. You've also got the escape area here where once you secure once you secure all three of these buildings, the helicopter will come and we'll be able to pick you up, but not until that moment. That is how you escape and win the game. You also have your meeples here coded for each of the different characters, which here are the actual character playmats. Dennis Nedry, Ellie Sattler, Donald Gennaro, Ian Malcolm, John Hammond, Lex Murphy, Ray Arnold, Alan Grant, Robert Muldoon, Tim Murphy. Literally just about everybody in the movie except for the dude who gets eaten at the very beginning and then wants to sue John Hammond, which starts this entire process of Jurassic Park. Over here, you've got the actual action cards for each character. Here's the beautiful thing about this, and we'll go more in depth on these when we show what these are for in a minute. But notice this climb roll of 3. This is different for every single type of character. So Ian Malcolm, he has a sneak of 4. He's not very good at sneaking. But somebody like Tim has a 2 of sneaking. But Tim doesn't have a distract because he's a kid and he's not brave enough to get up and distract them. As we've seen in the movie, that's not a slight at him for being a kid, but he does not even have a distract card, whereas Ian Malcolm has 1, some of them have 2 or 3. Robert Muldoon is really good at distracting and all that sort of stuff, hence he dies like that. Clever girl. Anyway, they all have a special power as well, listed with these exclamation marks on them. Notice these are free actions. They're not actions you would pick during your turn. The other free action would actually be distract. You can do that as a free action, so it just happens during the human's turn. His is Chaos Theory, and they all have a special power that's unique to them. It's very, very thematic. Jeff Goldblum's or Ian Malcolm's is discard this card. Any one character may return 1 card at random from their discard pile to their hand. Free action, play during the human's turn. So it's a cool way to heal, basically, and we'll talk about why that counts as healing in just a little bit. But everybody else's powers are different. Everybody's actions are different. Now, on the actual playmat, you'll see the goal, the character goal, and you actually have to fulfill this character goal in order to have this character escape. Dennis Nedry's. You begin with Nedry's token. That would be this token right over here. Everybody gets a token that tells you when you've completed their goal. You begin with Nedry's goal token. Dennis Nedry must always be chosen as the target for attacks. That's his deal. So if he dies, it's kind of, you have You have to have him be the tank and take the damage. And if he dies, obviously. And that's the cool thing about this. If you die in this game, you just start over as another character. Some other ones go to the Triceratops location to collect Ellie Sattler's gold token. So if you were playing as Ellie Sattler, you would actually have to go to the Triceratops area, which currently is here in this one. So even though you're trying to get here, 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 and then here, you'd have to go here at some point. Notice on the map, these climbing areas, these are walls or rock slides and things, or cliffs, I guess is the word. You have to climb using the climb action on these. Electric fences can be passed through until they're turned on with the maintenance shed. Once the power's turned on, you put these tokens out, which is kind of neat that it gives you every single one of these to put out, and it changes the board to look like the power's on. It would be nice if we gave you the sound effect from the movie, because that was a great, terrifying scene when Tim gets electrocuted. But alas, they don't. Also, dinosaur meeples. These are not stickers. Well, we don't need velociraptors anyway, do we? They're not stickers. They seem to be screen printed onto the actual wood, which is nice. And it's really well done, colored from the movie. It's right on. So excellent job on the components there. They look really great. The other thing I wanted to show you would be, this one's really cool actually. I wanted to show you Ian Malcolm's, how you get his card. So there are things where you will roll dice. His is, before you roll, guess whether the die will be even or odd. If correct, Malcolm gains his token. So it's pretty neat that you get to do different things to get your tokens and get you out of the Jurassic Park. Now the dinosaur actions are similar. They also have a little action sheet here, their own set of action cards, and they all have special powers. So the Velociraptor, the T-Rex, and the Dilophosaurus all have a special power. The Velociraptor can move up to 2 spaces in a straight line. These are very thematic too. T-Rex can attack a character twice, bites them really hard, and then the Dilophosaurus can attack a character in an adjacent space, therefore spitting. The dinosaur has 3 cards in their hand at any time, so it'd be 1, 2, 3. You look at these cards here, they would be things like run, climb, run, 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 or run and run. These basically are your actions available. You will play your card face down as the dinosaurs. Everyone else will then get to talk about what they're going to pick and then play them face down. Everything is open information, so you can bluff, you can act like you're going to play something else and try to fake the opponent out, but it is all open information, so you can't talk about stuff without the dinosaurs hearing. They have to be able to hear. Then everyone, let's just say Malcolm, in this case, is out here. Let's just say he decides to climb. So he'll climb. Let's say he's actually here. So he's going to go into this space with Ellie Sattler. So he would put his card here. The dinosaurs will go first. They'll flip up. They'll run first, which means they pick one of the dinosaurs to activate with. They can't activate the same dinosaur twice, so they couldn't run and then climb. So this Velociraptor could go run, and this Dilophosaurus could, or the T-Rex, let's see, T-Rex could climb into here. Now he's in the same space. You then also have the ability to do their special power if it's not already sitting on it. So if it's already sitting on the T-Rex, he can't do his power. But if it was here on the Velociraptor, the T-Rex could then attack Ian Malcolm twice. Now, anytime a character enters the space of the dinosaur, an attack happens. The way damage works is you, as a character, start with all 10 cards in your hand. This is your health. So at the beginning of the game, you have effectively 10 health. Each time you use a card, you would discard it unless it says burn that card. If it says burn it, you put it up here and it's out of the game permanently. There are 2 ways to burn a card. One, if you take damage, that card is burned. So when you take damage, the enemy will reach over and grab a random card out of your hand. That card gets burned. They do not get to see what it is, only you do. However, when making a roll, let's just say you're trying to get one of these places turned on, the control center or the maintenance shed. Well, it takes a 5+ roll. Well, let's say I rolled a 2. Well, then these numbers in the bottom right corner of the cards can be added to your roll if you burn the card. So if I burn his special ability out of the game, I have to show it, tell everybody what it is, get the 3 points, and then I can flip this over and get credit for that. But now once it's burned, now I'm only working with 9 cards. If you want to get all your cards back into your hand, here's the tricky part. You have to burn your entire hand in order to get the cards back. So let's just say you only have 3 cards over here and you have a hand of 4 cards. Well, you don't want to burn all 4 of these cards just to get 3 back. you have to kind of start playing it down further and further and further down until when you go, okay, I have 2 cards I can burn to get 4 back, or 2 cards I can burn to get 5 back, and it becomes a gamble at that point. But that's why you want to play with Ellie Sattler or Ian Malcolm, who can also heal your characters back up, which is a really good thing to have. That's the basics of the game. I mean, that's really all there is to it. The dinosaurs attack like that, you attack like that, you get out onto the board and you try to escape, you roll, you add to your roll. These can't be moved through once they're there. And that's really it. I mean, once you have your goals, and once these are all activated by flipping them up and rolling the 5+, you can then start heading for the copter. The copter appears here. You then start making your way here. Once 3 people have escaped, the humans win. Once 3 people have been killed, the dinosaurs win. And that would be killed from either just being attacked, or there's 3 ways actually you can die as a character. Let me just show you this real quick because I want to make sure I'm reading it correctly. There are, when a dinosaur attacks a character while that human player has no cards in their hand, they're eliminated. When a human player has no cards left in their hand at the end of their turn, their character is eliminated. And when a human player cannot select a card during the selected card step, that character is eliminated. So if you don't have any cards left, you die. If 3 of your characters die, the dinosaurs win the game. And that's the game. That's how it plays right there.
So what are the actual actions you can do on your turn? First of all, there's run, which means you just move into the space next to you. You can't move across the climb symbol, and you can't move across electric fences. Those were obvious on the board. The next one would be sneak. Now, sneak's an interesting one. You make your sneak roll, so it's a 4+ for Ian Malcolm. You lay him down. The next turn, you can just pop up into any space adjacent to the space you're in, and that's the space you're in. So you can do that across, I believe you can do it across climbing barriers, but you cannot do it across powered electric fences once they're on. Also, you can't be attacked while you're sneak mode, which is great. So if you're laying down and they're going to try to go for you next turn because you know your health is low, you are technically protected like that. And the next one would be climb. Basically, you go across those climb barriers by rolling a dice. If you make it, you're able to climb across it. Don't forget, you can always add these numbers down here to your rolls to make it better. And then up here is distract. Now, this one's interesting because the kids don't have distract. John Hammond doesn't have distract. But basically, you pull, and it's free, so you can do it on your turn at any point, but it technically means that you're going to be using 2 cards on your turn. But you play it, and you pull a dinosaur into your space from an adjacent space, so it helps someone else. Now, Robert Muldoon's token, you have to distract the Velociraptor to get his token, so interesting little mechanic there. But these are all the different card types there are, and then of course there's the special powers that everyone has, but those are the main types of cards that they have. Everyone's numbers are different down here for what they're worth, as well as what they are here. So some people have a sneak of 2 versus a sneak of 4. It's really neat. I like that.
So here's the question. Does a great license always mean a great game, though? No, it doesn't. But in this case, yes, this is a great game. Not just a good game, this is a great game. In the pandemic sort of style of games that are out there right now, this one nails it with this wonderful Hollywood theme. It feels like Jurassic Park, from the theming of the characters, from the individual player cards, not just the player powers, but the cards themselves, the stats on the cards. It is amazing. You know, Dennis Nedry's got a 5 climb versus Tim's got a 2 climb. The special powers are all super thematic. The special powers for the dinosaurs are thematic, even though there's only 3. The components look nice. This map looks so good sitting on the board. It's shaped great, and it has a really good look in the hexes here. It's the meeples are cute, you know, the components themselves, the fact that these electric fences come on and they look like this. Now, obviously this is because you can turn them on and off at will sometimes, but all of this just looks great. The cards look great. It's the actual licensed character images from the movie, but not in that weird jarring way where some games do that, where it takes the actual images from the show or from a movie and it's like, ooh, this looks weird. It looks right. It fits. The art style is just done right, where you're playing, I don't know, it just works. The dinosaur meeples are great. These wonderful looking print. I don't know if it's printed or whatever it is, but it looks fantastic on here. The last thing I wanted to mention is the fact that I'm not sure if it's a Target exclusive or not, but the fact that this is a $25 game, 1 versus all, that's not just a 1 versus all in the, so it's $25. This is a fantastic game all the way around. I would play this again and again and again. Now, there are times when it gets frustrating because you think, well, at this one, it's probably a no for us. We're probably not going to be able to win. But then you might change it and you might pull something out. You might do a nice little combo or something like that. It's just so much fun. I really enjoy this game. I love the fact that the setup is different every time. You know, these perimeter ones are going to be different. The interior ring is going to be different. It might even be different from the way they're. You can have the exact same tiles in the same place, but the orientation of the tiles changes the game totally when you have these fences laid out or the climb stations laid out. It totally changes how the game plays. I love it. I think this is a fantastic game. It's a definite buy. If you see this at Target, get it for 25 bucks. It's so much fun. That's it for this review. I'm Brian Drake with The Latest Retro here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at The Latest Retro. Check out our channel as well, where we do a live pop culture nightly talk show sort of thing. You see those live streamed over at The Latest Retro. Make sure to follow us on Twitter, support us on Patreon, whatever you want to do. Till next time, I'm Brian Drake with The Latest Retro. Oh, also, this is the first video since we've had our new little baby girl, so that's why it's been a little bit of a delay since the last one. So she's doing great, she's healthy, and she's super cute. So till next time, I'll see you.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.